Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is a quick little let's discuss some foolishness chat and whatnot. I was supposed to be live today at like 5 o'clock, but my eyes are still going crazy, and I didn't want to risk getting up tomorrow, well later today because it's the 1:45 in the morning, and then not feeling up to getting on camera. So I'm going to just chit chat about some stuff today. So be looking out for all kind of recordings coming out on my channel, okay? But y'all know first things first, if you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Okay, y'all know to subscribe to this channel and to my other channel and whatnot. Okay, the link to that is always in the description box below, or it's probably in the chat. This is going to be a premiere, so always look out for that as well. Do not forget to do all these things right here, liking the video and commenting and sharing and relaxing and centering yourself and inhaling all these things around here, okay? You can also follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG and Twitter. Y'all know I'm also on CashApp. Send me what you want, okay? But yeah, like the video and subscribe. I am a human being because I am here. I know my headband does not match my shirt. Don't judge me, okay? It's 1:46 in the morning. But let's get into what I want to discuss, okay? So much I feel like it's happened, but not a lot at the same time. And I was like overwhelmed, like, okay, what do I discuss? How do I discuss it? And what do I do? So these are just a couple of the topics. I'm going to put out a whole separate video where I'm going to scroll the Jasmine brand and discuss everything else that has went on within the past week or so. Okay, but let's get into this first. So I want to go to Wendy Williams first. Okay, I'll be on and off screen because depending on the light, my eyes hurt. So we know Wendy is still not back on her show. And there have been co-hosts coming on the show until she's back. I do not want to see Wendy back until like 2022. Give her November off, give her December off, let her get good and rest to get some extra rest to see what happened. Okay. Now with the show with a little guest or whatever, they had Leah Remy on here for guest host, I think for a week. They had the whole other panel people on here. They had Whitney Cummings on there, she was hosting. And now next week they're gonna have, look, I don't like Michael Rappaport. I cannot stand him. So I am not happy that he's hosting at all. Okay. They have Bill Bellamy hosting for 2 days. Okay. They then have, Jerry Springer and Steve. I'm like, Steve, security guard Steve. But y'all know Steve got his own show. So Steve also has his own, so Steve and Jerry have their own, days to host come November. Now, I don't like this right here. I'm going to leave it be. Now, I watched this week, okay, when they had Sherry Shepherd. She did such an amazing job, okay? I was bored. I watched one episode with Leah Remy, and I was like, no, ma'am. I don't want it. Not at all. Okay. Sherry Shepherd really did well. I mean, she really did well on her week. It was entertaining. It was enlightening. Now they said, since Wendy has been off, but guest host has been on this week particularly. I'm going to credit Sherry Shepherd because I don't think anybody was really talking about the guest host at all until Sherry did so well. The views were up like 35%, and I want to see how the views and the viewers are going to talk about it next week when the men are hosting. I mean, why couldn't y'all just have Sherry stay on there? Why did we have to have anybody else? Just keep Sherry. But I also feel like they don't want the audience to get used to any one person besides Wendy. Because then it seems like they're replacing Wendy. They don't want to do that. Wendy needs her rest. Let her rest. Okay. I feel like, because after this week, that's the week of Thanksgiving. Okay, so I feel like are they gonna be off that week? Because let's not try to bring Wendy back the week of Thanksgiving. Don't do that. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, thank you. Give Wendy the time off, have her come back after the new year, or just give me Sherry Shepherd. I'll take either one, okay? But we do wish Wendy a speedy recovery. Now, they were saying that she was being spotted in a wheelchair and she looks better than she did before because she's able to rest. Give her more time to rest. Leave her be until then. Let Wendy get some rest, okay? Next up, Nene Leakes. Nene was on the reel. And, and I kept saying to myself, what is Nene promoting again? Why is she doing all these interviews with people? I know she has the Media Lounge in Atlanta. I know that's doing well, but I'm like, why they keep, what's she talking about? Okay. Anyway, Lonnie and Garcelle talking to Wendy not Wendy, Nene, as Nene, would she be open to returning to the Housewives of Atlanta since I said the one back, because of the other, Marlo has a piece now, with some newbies on there, would she be willing to come back to the show? Now, I would expect someone who accused the show, the producers, the whoever's, the everyone, the Andy Cohen's, anybody who accused all of them of all the derogatory, discriminating things that Nene went publicly and said about them. I don't know why a person would want to go back to that show. However, Nene said, I would be open, to going back on the show. I'll be open to that. You know what I'm saying? I have some unfinished business with some of the people who are on the show. I'm looking like, no, you don't. She said she would have to have a conversation with Andy, to talk things through. I'm like, you called that man a racist. You said that Andy and the whole show were, basically, using you and all these things that she went on a whole tour, being open and vocal about how badly she was treated. So why all of a sudden are you open to being back on the show? This is my thing. The show does not need Nene Leakes. The show does not need Nene Leakes. I like that this season seems like it's going to be something different because we have, newcomer Richards Ross. I forgot what her first name is, but what's her? I forgot the new girl, whatever her name is. Sonya Richards Ross. Drew's second season, Marla's first season as a peach holder. Sheree back for no reason too. We don't need Nene back too. I feel like if they keep resting on old people coming back, the show can never be refreshed. Okay, Nene has played her part and she should depart the show. I feel like Nene was at one point in time one of the biggest reality show stars out here. Okay, she was that chick. Let's make it clear. Nene played her cards wrong and she never really capitalized on her star power. She relied on just being Nene. She never branded herself as an actress to be anyone played besides playing herself. And she put herself in a box. And now I feel like she don't have no other box to put herself in. So let me go back to the Housewives of Atlanta box. You should not have to do that, Mama. And the person it reminds me of is Tammy. Tammy Roman had been on reality shows for a long time. Okay, she was on, The Real World in season 2 back in the day. She was on Basketball Wives for a while, but she used all of that to get all these different acting roles, and now she's a full-fledged actress who never has to go back to the show that she felt did her wrong. Nene should have done that. Nene should have for sure, when she felt like she was being treated wrong, okay, let me go out and do other things to make sure I never need this check. Nene needs a check. Okay, I don't think there's any other reason she would want to go back to a show that she didn't even really like filming when she left. She left the last reunion of the season she was on, closed the laptop and all. She would not really want to show up to film, or she would say she does not want to film. She wasn't in it anymore. And I feel like the show has outgrown Nene. She's outgrown the show. Nene going back to Housewives will really be hustling backwards. The only reason for anyone to come back to the show would be for the money. Okay, that's it. And I feel, because again, it's the things that she said that she went through, that she was treated badly on the show. Why come back? For what? For because you need a show to be on. Why Nene should be on someone's something and she's on no one's nothing. And now she's not begging and pleading, but she's asking, hey, y'all want to talk about me coming back? No, the show to me does not need Nene. Nene needs to brand herself as something other than Nene from Housewives. She needs to make sure that she has other jobs, okay, to pay her bills besides being on Bravo on Sunday nights. Okay, I'm like, no, man, don't do that. And she's gone. Cynthia don't need to come back. And again, Candy should be next. So Candy is the other person on the show who has been on there since season 2, I believe. So Candy ass should be leaving next. Okay, this should be Candy's last season. If not this season, be her last. Maybe the season after that, but no season more than that. No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. The show needs to keep reinventing itself. No one should be on a reality show for 20 seasons. Not a ensemble cast that they not giving any more than they've already gave. But again, I just don't believe anybody who accused the whole network of racism, discrimination, and all these things should then say, I'll come back. But let me talk to Andy because I helped pay for his son's baby shower. I was like, Nene, don't do that. Nene, don't do that. Don't put yourself in that box. Okay? Build your own box. You have a Lanithia Lounge box. Build that shit out. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be. Let's get on to Cynthia and Mike. So about 2 weeks ago, I saw on Twitter a person saying that she was cheating or that Mike was cheating on Cynthia. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. Okay. Now, when I first heard about it, I'm like, what is she talking about? What happened? Could it really, really be true? I don't know. So the person who put it out, it was her page was called, I'm looking at my thing. It was Allie ST Premium is what it was. And she was posting a video of a Snapchat conversation between her and allegedly Mike Hill. Now, this is the thing. The Snapchat only had his face, not his face. It only had his name and an avatar as the face, of course. And you really couldn't see any other thing to say it was actually him. Now, there was a pic. Okay, there was a penis pic that was sent. Now, of course, I cannot post it at all. Okay, now I would never post it. But when I saw it, I said it reminded me of the Loch Ness Monster. So this is what it reminded me of. Okay, if you're wondering what the picture looked like, this is what it looked like. Okay, him sitting on the bed in some jogging pants, and it looked like a little Loch Ness Monster coming up out the water. Okay, and that's all that it was. And I'm like, that's not even a pretty penis. Now I also feel like that penis, it looked deformed. What's going on here? Okay, so the person deleted the tweets, I believe, the following day or the day after, whatever. And even though she was like, I got receipts. The receipts was never anything concrete. That's why when I first heard about it, I ignored it because I'm like, the penis is a Loch Ness Monster. Boom, pow, pow. Okay. All you have is a Snapchat conversation. That's not really anything from there. And there was nothing more than that. Okay. Nothing more than that. Now, when TMZ caught up with Cynthia and Mike in the leaving, I think it was at LAX in the airport. And Cynthia said, we're fine. We're okay. And they kept walking, and Mike said, my lawyers are aware of the situation. Saying if it persists, we will, seek legal action. I am for anyone saying, don't lie on me. If you try to lie on me and defame me in any way, I will come after your ass. Now, I know Mike in the past has admitted to being unfaithful, but I feel like we have to stop forcing people to live in their past. I don't live there anymore. I've left my past. Now, that does not mean that Mike may not have cheated or cheating on Cynthia. But I'm not, if she's saying I'm good, We're good. Meaning I've seen his penis up close. That ain't it. Okay. So please miss me with the bullshit. I do feel like if she knew that was her husband's penis, she would leave him. Okay. And Cynthia said, we good. Okay, we fine. We're gonna leave it at that. Now we know she left the show because as she said she was trying to one protect her marriage, but also to just move on because they wanted her to be a friend of the show. I believe it. You know, who wants to be on TV consistently being a friend of a show when it's like a demotion, you know? But I don't believe it. I think that's the reason why so many people one ignored the tweet stuff because people sometimes want to say, "Oh, I got this proof." It's like it wasn't proof. It was not proof. I'm telling y'all, it looked like a little monster, a little Loch Ness monster. And I said, I don't even look like him. The hand around it didn't look like him either. So again, people just be like sometimes making up stuff. And I always say I don't want to run with anyone accusing someone of something and we don't really know if it's true. Now I need some kind of proof at all times. Okay, you can't show me the head of a Loch Ness monster and then say, "Oh, that's Mike Hill's penis." I don't know that. Leave me alone or whatever. Okay, but anyway, let's move on to Will and Jada. So y'all know Jada has her red table talk, and she's always having conversations about stuff. Okay, she just talks about stuff all the time. Her stuff, his stuff, whatever stuff. And she had a conversation about sexual conversations within relationships or whatever. And a clip of it went viral with her saying how, sometimes having conversations about sex can be hard, because marriage over the years can, be tough here and there, whatever. And people took it as her saying, her and Will have issues having conversations about sex. They consistently go at Jada for, oh, Jada's always bitching and this and that. And they're always hard on Jada. And I was like, Will Smith hasn't complained about his wife ever. Ever. Okay. And Will Smith is privy to the same, red table talk as we is. Why do y'all keep trying to make Jada the villain? Why? I don't understand it. And Will, who has written a book that will be out, I believe, Monday. I've actually, or maybe Tuesday. I think about the 9th. And I've ordered the book as well, so I'm gonna read it when it comes. But Will has been honest and vocal about, neither of them, him included, not being perfect. Okay, them, doing things to make themselves happy. We all know they live a different life. It does not mean that he cheats on her and she cheats on him. It does not mean that they're, a free flowing sexual fluidity of a couple. It does not mean they out here, fucking whoever. I think it means they've been through some things over the past 20 odd years, 20, between 20 and 25 years. They've been through some things, good, bad, and indifferent. But at the end of the day, they haven't left each other permanently. They've had their moment of separation. Let them people be. It really irks my nerves that people like to beat down on Jada at one point and then beat down on Will at the other point. And they hold on to the whole Jada and August thing as if Will didn't have his own flings here and there, but no one ever came forward except August. August was the one who came forward, which made Jada and Will have to speak out on it. And I just wish people would get off their backs. Okay, let them be. I like the fact that they love each other enough to not want to hold the other one back from other happiness. You know what I'm saying? They have a bond which I feel like would never be broken, no matter what they do. And if they are happy with it, why are we always focused on trying to tear them down? And I also get very, very aggravated when people hear a snippet of something and then run with it and do whole ass stories about it. I'm like, that ain't even what was said. Like when Will Smith wrote about he thought about suicide or he thought about this and that. I'm like, why are y'all talking about that and you don't even know the details of what he's saying? It irks me when people do not let a full statement be understood before coming out and saying, oh, that's what it was talking about. Will and Jada to me are fine. He's done dirt, she's done dirt. But let's not, beat down on her because she has red table talk to have open conversation and saying, hey, when you're with someone for so many years, it could be, you can't expect people to know what you want sexually all the time because nobody's a mind reader. And at one point or another, it could have been difficult to have sexual conversations, but it does not mean me and Will had issues. Girl, I'm like, people get on my damn nerve. Stop putting words in people's mouths based on half a truth of a conversation, okay? Speaking of Joe Budden, okay? Joe Budden was on his podcast, okay? Statement went viral of him saying, I am bisexual. I like men and women. Run with that. And that was really it. No other, nothing else was put out there. And that was a clip of a bigger conversation about the whole the baby thing. And when I first seen the clip and heard the clip, I said that man ain't a bit more bisexual than the man on the moon. Okay. Because I'm like, clearly he's saying something to one, get attention, and the two, to kind of show how someone can say one thing and then people ran with it, which is what they did. And two, he was saying it to make a point and saying, hey, if something go down, I'm also bisexual, so y'all gonna forgive me too. And again, it goes to the thing of people get sound bites and clips, and then they have full-fledged conversations and think pieces. Oh, so-and-so's about to. No, he isn't. He isn't. And even seeing his two actors, the girl Kaylin and also Tahiri, with Kaylin, something was Kaylin saying, "Oh, I believe it. I'm happy for him. I knew it." I was like, "Girl, bye." Okay. And even Tahiri then saying, "Oh, well, Joe may be a woman beater, but he's not bisexual." I'm like, "Why are y'all attached, girl?" Sometimes I wish people would leave folks alone. Like if you've moved on from being with him, then move on from being with him. Leave that man be. Let that man be, bisexual or not. But Tahiri went on a whole Twitter rampage a little bit about how, she's in therapy now, she's over him now, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes the person who inflicts trauma on you should be the one who has to pay for your therapy. If someone has inflicted trauma on me, I don't want them to have anything to do with me with my healing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, again, people take stories and just run with it like it's no big deal to get clicks and views. I don't do that. That's why sometimes it takes me time before I run a story because I'm like, I don't have time to do a video today and have to retract that shit tomorrow or clear up what I meant the next day. No, ma'am. Not on my watch. So again, Joe Budden ain't gay. He's not bisexual. He was trying to make a point and saying sometimes you have to align yourself with other people to get accepted because so many people are getting canceled by saying things against a group of people. But I'm gonna leave that be too. Lastly, I want to touch on the Travis Scott Astro World Festival situation. I didn't even know what to call it. So I think it was the second one, if I'm not mistaken. It may not be, but Travis Scott had his own Astro World Festival, and 8 people passed away because Astro World was just in the big old. It was in Houston, Texas, and it was supposed to be a 2-day festival. But the second day was closed down after this happened. Now, when you go to concerts, and concerts have like seats and rows and stuff of people having to be seated, that's one thing. But at these festivals, it's an open area, it's open space, and there's no organization. Okay. They have these mosh pits, that people can be in or whatever. But again, there's no really organization to where, okay, this is your seat, this is my seat. No, it's just open space or whatever. So the crowd rushed the stage right after Travis got on stage. But they also said, like, right before he went on stage is when the rushing to the stage happened. And because so many people rushed to the stage, people who were up front didn't have anywhere to go. So they were just being crushed and pushed and trampled and could not breathe. And they said how I think 17 people were transported to the hospital. 11 of those people were in was in cardiac arrest, meaning having heart attacks. Because again, they could not breathe. They had security who brought up how they were working the festival, and they were having to pull people who were being squished out of the pits. And that, it wasn't an issue with the planners. It was because the crowd was so loud. So I'm saying not so loud, but so large. Now there was also the sheriff brought up how they're investigating if someone or people were drugging people, which made them act out. They brought up how a security guard who was pulling people out felt a prick in his neck and then he passed out. And even at the hospital, they saw, I guess, the space on his neck where it looked like somebody, could have shot him with something. And so they're wondering if that is what happened. But again, 8 people died from this. And the crazy part is that it's like you can't really blame any one person because a lot of people are to blame, if you ask me. I think, Travis Scott even brought up how, because Travis Scott did a, share my screen. He was on his live, on his story, and he just brought up how he just felt horrible about what was going on. So let me share my screen so y'all can see what Travis said out of his own mouth.
To the ones that was lost last night, we're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. My fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. City of Houston, HPD, fire department, everyone to, help us figure this out. So if you have any information, please just contact the local authorities. Everybody continue to just keep your prayers. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated. I could never imagine anything like this just happening. I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on. Love you all.
So again, that was Travis, speaking on it. It's definitely a whole travesty because you can't even imagine what would happen if 50,000 people was in this one area and then they just rushed the stage. I do feel like, you should probably never have 50,000 people just around raging. And it's a thing to where you have to try to have crowd control, have separate gates so that not so many people can get through. But again, they were showing video earlier in the day of people running through barricades, running through gates. So it was just a chaotic scene. And they were saying how I think about 300 people may have been treated for some kind of for getting hurt, but for sure they say there were at least 8 people who died. I almost feel like it could be more, but they're waiting to give a final count of that once they're able to identify bodies and make sure that everything is handled. It's very, very sad because no one thinks about going to a concert and not coming home, especially 8 people dying from what seems like it will probably be people either getting trampled, people either being crushed and could not breathe so they passed out and died, all from going to a concert. Now there were videos also showing Travis performing and people felt like, why did you hear the crowd screaming help, help, stop the show. You see videos of fans trying to yell at the security, trying to yell at the camera people, saying they need help, but no one knew what to do. Even the video showing Travis on stage, and he sees the ambulance coming through the crowd. He's wondering like what is going on, but no one ever at that point stopped the show. The show kept going until they finally did stop it. But at that point, again, so much had happened. And again, I don't fully blame Travis, because I do feel like when you're on stage, sometimes you can't really hear what people in the crowd can hear because you hear because you're in the crowd. But sometimes when you're on stage, you can't hear all of that clearly. So I feel like whoever the organizers were, who were on the ground and knew things were going awry, someone should have told, hey, maybe we should close this thing down because again, things are getting kind of crazy. But again, it's just a whole mess, if you ask me. Now, there was a story on People, and the caption of it read, Kylie, pregnant Kylie, not hurt after 8. I'm like, man, I was like, first of all, fuck Kylie. I'm like, why is that even why was that even a thing to say? That's stupid. Okay, no one cares. But it's just stupidness that goes on that, people, the website, like People, to make the story that pregnant Kylie Jenner wasn't hurt. Again, fuck Kylie. 8 people died. No one ever thought that she was in the crowd any damn way. So why was that even a part of the conversation? But I mean, this foolishness all up and through. But anyway, that's all I have for right now. I hope you all enjoyed this quick little discuss the foolishness and whatnot. I will talk to y'all later. Do not forget to like the video, comment in the comment section, follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner. Until next time, I will see you when I see you.